Hey, what's up? I'm Carlos Bilal with Connecting the Dots, and today's dots we're connecting is our very own hero, Robert Smalls. And we can't forget his birth month of April. He was born April 5th, 1839 in Beaufort, South Carolina, enslaved. And his slave owner actually leased him out to work here in the city of Charleston as a young teen. And throughout his numerous jobs, where he gained a lot of experience working on the sea, gaining information, looking at how the ships are operating into the harbor, coming into the harbor. And during the Civil War, gained his freedom by stealing a Confederate ship. He actually used the steam whistle signals to exit out the harbor. He also donned on the Confederate captain's uniform and used certain hand signals and flag signals to exit out the harbor. He had to go past Fort Sumter to escape from his freedom. Not only did he did that by himself, but he had a crew with him, and all his crewmen was enslaved blacks. He also had the time to go and pick up his family, his daughter and his daughters and his wife, and some of the crew members, family members as well escaped with him. He had to surrender to the Union Army. Once he reached there, it was all in the newspapers in Philadelphia and all up north that, hey, this black guy, this slave took the Confederate ship. So they couldn't do nothing but grant this man his freedom. Once he returned back to South Carolina as a free man, not only he returned here, but he was selected as a state legislator. He was one of the co-founders of the Republican Party in South Carolina. He also focused his attention on black education, which one of the first ones in the state of South Carolina to focus on black education. Northern and Southern newspapers called this feat bold and daring. Smalls and his crew, a crewman on another ship, and 8 other enslaved persons, including Smalls' wife, Hannah, and his 3 children, who won their freedom by it. Smalls, born in 1839 to 1915, was appointed captain of the Planter by a U.S. Army contract in 1863. A native of Beaufort, he was later a state legislator and then a 5-term U.S. congressman. Please feel free to scan this QR code of Robert Smalls. It will give you more in-depth information about his life here in Charleston and also in Beaufort. And just beyond this iron fence, you would see Fort Sumter, which was the Confederate fort of that time. And this is what Robert Smalls had to get past in order to gain his freedom. Beyond that fortress was his freedom to a whole different life.